Live with
And we're recording. Thank you, Facebook, for your few seconds of patience there. Wow, we have such an incredibly powerful, energetic group here with us. Richard, again, I'm so glad you were able to make it and hop in. I thank you for coming. God brings in exactly who he needs to bring in. All right, so before we even begin, I always like to start with a few deep breaths. So I am going to disable the background noise filter from my audio. Can you hear my obnoxious breathing? Perfect. All right. And let's breathe together, in through the nose, out through the mouth, like just 3 times. All right. Some deep belly breaths. So we'll go in and hold and out. And another one in and hold and out. And one more. We'll go in and hold and release. Wow, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. So thanks for the Palo Santo, LJ. I see that. So keeping the energy clear. So why I've called us all here today, essentially behind the scenes for the last year or so, some of us in this room, Andrew French, Andrew Golden, LJ, Shafiq, I want to call you all out specifically as well for all of the effort and work and just bearing with my brain and helping make sense of everything we're doing and helping, you guys all help. Everybody that comes in helps me see myself in a new way that it's easier to see yourself through everybody else. That's why we really need each other, right? Because we're going to fully understand ourselves when we begin to open ourselves up to seeing that we're a mirror. Em, I'm just going to mute you, but yo, I love seeing you here and I appreciate you as well. All right, so we are going to talk about the living dream. I'm going to give a quick presentation. We'll see how long it goes. But then I really just want to open up to conversation. We're going to continue to have these calls right off the bat. I'll let you all know that once a month, I would like to continue to come together in this, what I'm calling a collective intention, so that we can just continue on our journey, continue building, continue growing, and not stop momentum. So before we do any of this, before we get into our presentation real quickly, the collective intention, that's right, LJ. I have asked LJ, as the incredible attuned Reiki master healer that they are, to pray over us in this conversation real quick so that we're just all...
Yes. Thank you so much, Andrew. I am so grateful, and just taking in those deep breaths just helped just ground me and everyone here, because I feel, you know, it's been waiting. It's been a long time waiting, and I'm just so grateful for you and for your collective vision and how you show up for everyone here. And it's an honor to be able to just lead this prayer, because there's so much that I know that together we've been setting the intention. And I think for us right now, it's how can we all now tap in and collectively breathe in life, in that moment, and then release all of that darkness, that shadow, that gunk that is inside of us. And in this moment, we can make it lighter for us in our day-to-day basis. And that's, the intention that I hope that in this moment you guys feel lighter after this call, and that there is an awakening, that there is shifts that start to happen within our genetic DNA that allow more light to come through, so that we can heal ourselves and we can be able to just start to awaken to the collective answers that I know that are in our DNA. And we are now saying, I am allowing that light to activate within us. And us taking these moments right now is allowing that collective intention to, what I feel like, is activate even more powerfully. And so, learning all these techniques, I just wanted to take a second and just do some I am affirmations. It always just helps ground me to the earth. So if we can open our hearts, we can put our hands out. We can feel, I always say, start to tingle as the energy starts to flow to our fingertips, and allow that energy, because we're powerful beings. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to inhale life energy. I'm going to hold that, and we're going to let go of all the shadow and gunk, releasing, letting that light come in. So I am allowing all of my courageous cells to activate. I'm here to learn and experience. I am free to create new experiences. I am safe. I am safe to share my views in any way. I am expanding my consciousness. I am opening up the gates to show who I truly am. I am a creative channel of creative wisdom. I am gratitude. I am creativity. I am love. I am connecting to the spiritual warrior energy. I'm strengthening my back. I'm holding my head up. And now I walk on the planet Earth with dignity, with confidence, with purpose. I am perfectly able to feel calm, to feel the love pour through me as I am supporting others, as I'm supporting myself. I'm filling myself up, and I'm allowing up for the empowering resources that flow through us. I am an architect for my thoughts to bathe in this river of creativity, of brilliant ideas. I am kneeling down to my true self, and I am showing and accepting that I am allowing these answers to come through. I am spreading love with my voice. I'm spreading love with my being. I'm speaking with clarity, love, and honesty. I am authentic, true in self-expression. I am trusting my inner voice, and I am always guided by the pure energy of creation. I choose to listen, and I allow myself to allow the universe to whisper the secrets to my heart. Thank you so much for this moment. I am present. I am powerful. I am freedom. I am wise, and I am strong. I allow these roots to anchor into the ground as a tree, and we allow the nutrients to come up as we now begin to bear the fruit that we can share with the community. So thank you so much for this moment. In God, the universe, all of the collective intention in this moment, may we just awaken, and we take this hour to just fill up. Thank you so much. That's that's the message I felt.
Wow. Thank you, LJ. I appreciate you tremendously. Always bringing the best energy. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Amen. Thank you.
amen. Absolutely.
Amen. Grand rising.
Woo!
Beautiful.
It's always, we're always rising.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Let me pull up Canva.
Yes, I
Chef,
hope you guys
really
felt
needed
that.
that.
We open our hands up, and we allow that energy to transmit across grids. I mean, we have people in Paris, we have people all over the country right now. So we're tapping into these grid lines and these energies. And in this moment, we're setting this collective intention. So thank you so much, Andrew. The living dream. Wow.
Yeah, so we didn't call this call collective intention, but going forward we will. I just put embodying our full potential together. But real quick, let me give 2 minutes. I know most of you all here know me, but for those who don't, or those who have just met me, I'll just go over my story up to this point really, really briefly. So I grew up very in a religious environment, fully involved in church. That's pretty much the majority of my life. I was a music director for 5 years there, and eventually went on to go to the seminary and get a degree in pastoral studies, all of those things, which I didn't finish with the degree. I came back. That's when I switched to business and wanting to understand more of money and business systems and how to implement those into my life. So for a few years, I managed a bus company. Beyond that, got into the entrepreneurial journey, and we got into real estate investing. I became a real estate agent. Amy and I bought real estate in Massachusetts. That was back in 2020. And then when 2021 came, this is when the living dream initially came to me as an idea. So Amy and I at the time, within a matter of a year, the market increased to where we had like a decent amount, quite a large amount of equity in our property that we had just purchased. So maybe it was the restlessness of being locked up during COVID, but we decided to sell our property and hit the road in an RV. So we went and bought an RV, drove around. We just had a newborn baby, Amelia, at this time as well. So it was just kind of a crazy thing. And a lot of our family was like, what are you doing? Like, just most people were confused because that's not what the average person does at 25, however old we were, 25 years old. You know, it's just like, what are you guys doing? You're retiring already? It's like, yeah, I would take a mini retirement. But really, it was the fact that for the previous few years, we've done a lot of self-development. So we're heavily focused on our self-actualization, like expressing without limit, like all that we feel inside us to do and be, regardless of if the mind can process it logically or not. It's following the heart, right? And understanding that the heart is looking to lead us in the best possible direction for us. It understands our desires better than the mind does and is connected on a more powerful level to the universe around us, right? To like on a quantum physics level, the heart is a far larger torus field, a far larger electromagnetic generator than even the mind. So tuning into it for direction is incredibly valuable. So anyway, that's what we wanted to share. I was like, let's start a YouTube channel. So we started a vlog, The Living Dream. The whole thing was, we're looking to realize our fullest potential. That's our main goal with everything we do. So we want to share that as loudly as possible to whoever wants to pay attention. And hopefully that'll awaken something in them. And all of us will begin to start really tapping into ourselves and expressing what it is that we have inside of us. Because I do truly believe that each one of us is a puzzle piece. Like, we are a collective. And as each one of us can really like find that unique puzzle piece within us, and we do that really through connecting to each other. But as we can begin to express ourselves individually, and everyone begins to do that, like, we start to create a more harmonious, you know, kind of world, a harmonious system going. And anyway, we'll get into that. So that was The Living Dream. Now it's on season 2. I really wanted to do this call because for the last, what was that, 2021? So no, for the last 2 years, it's been, what's the next iteration? What are we doing next? And we've done a lot behind the scenes. We've planned a lot. We've learned a lot. We've grown. We've built systems for ourselves in our life and networks. And so now we're here today. So I'm excited to relaunch The Living Dream. Going forward, season 2, we will be continuing this conversation, this journey over on YouTube and on our social media, on Instagram. So this is just the beginning. So anyway, in figuring out how to present this project, you know, my mind goes a million different ways. And so I went with Tony Robbins' RPM model. So we'll go with ultimate result first. We'll get into why, and then we'll kind of showcase the map, how we're looking to get there. And it's 8:20 right now. Out of respect for all of our time, we'll blow through this. We'll go through it at a reasonable pace. I got like a few slides. And it doesn't want to. There we go. So The Living Dream, our ultimate goal is to build a fully self-sustained community system, or I actually like to even say regenerative community system, where it's not just sustaining itself, it also creates an abundance to be able to give back. But a fully self-sustained community system that acts as one organized unit to serve humanity on a holistic, global level. That's the ultimate vision. We aim to do everything we can to realize our highest collective potential, which is obviously a large goal that's going to require the participation of ideally all of us, right? If we are to create something for ourselves, we all have to actively, consciously, willingly participate within that. So why are we doing this? We'll get into the why real quick. If it wants to, there we go. I always like to start talking about The Living Dream with everybody by quoting a brother, John Lennon, incredible being that walked this earth. A dream you dream alone is just a dream, but the dream we dream together is what we call our reality, right? We're not proposing a new reality here. We're simply seeking to remind ourselves of our true collective nature. We have a complete freedom to choose that in any moment. So it's time to remember our collective one human body, right? We are an organism that almost like the mind of the earth that's ever growing. And alone, ultimately, we are nothing. We're a blip. I mean, even as a collective humanity, we're kind of a blip, right? In the evolution of the earth, in the life of the earth, but alone, we're ultimately nothing. If we're only in our individuality, we're constantly going in different directions. We will ultimately outgrow the systems that we build for ourselves. So we have to understand our togetherness and our connection so that we are sustainably growing indefinitely. Because otherwise our technology on individual levels, we're here, and here, and we're building more and more powerful technologies. Like Elon Musk says it, we're either going to like be able to build such sustainable systems and incredible systems with our technology that we move into like almost VR worlds, like video games, indistinguishable from real life. If we can do that, we have the chance, but otherwise we pull ourselves apart first. Not to get doom and gloom. That's just what the dude with all the money is saying. But so David Icke, I'll quote David Icke. He says, what you believe, you perceive. What you perceive, you experience. So we're all experiencing our individual worldviews. Every single individual, one of us, has a unique perspective. And then we're projecting all of those into our reality, creating a collective shared reality that we are all co-creating and we are all experiencing together all at the same time. Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's our reality. Does this make sense? I know I'm like beating it to a dead horse, or whatever the saying is. So fantastic. We're all co-creators. We love it. We believe it. We got a powerful room here. So what are we currently creating? Obviously, there are certain things which require immediate attention. I don't have to go through this list. We have the UN 17 sustainable goals. We understand more or less the opportunities for growth in our world, but we'll go over a couple, right? Like a climate emergency. People have differing opinions. Anyway, the earth is warming up, whether it's the sun naturally doing it and we can do anything about it. It will be good to address our plans and our systems long-term as that continues to happen, right? Our global health, our economic inequality, the conversation about the 1%, the elites, you know, that gets intense sometimes, you know, the parasitic elites. But if we really are going to build a system for ourselves, we have to understand that there is no they, like there is no them, like it's just us. Like there's not even like us, the 99% versus them. Like true understanding of unity, true coming from interconnectedness is going to be, it's just us. Like, we got to accept every part of ourselves and learn from every part of ourselves. Anyway, we won't harp on that right now. Food security, right? It's an absolute basic need. We are not going to be able to address our self-actualization and build an environment that can fully allow everybody to be in self-actualization and vibrating in love at all times if we aren't able to come together and figure out like resources, right? Basic resources, food and shelter and health. Our mental health as well. The digital divide. The digital divide will be even more powerful than the money divide very soon. So it's education around how to use digital currencies, like the digital space, the metaverse, as we get more into that, how to market yourself on social media, how to have a digital kind of twin avatar that is you in the digital space. Education around that's very important. Obviously, human rights. We want equality. We want no discrimination, no exploitation. Like these are they're issues we talk about all the time. Like it's almost like this stuff gets talked about so much that it's not even like, it kind of just goes subconsciously like, yeah, we got to face that. But like, I don't know, like if we are having a conversation, if all of us are having a conversation and willing to sit and have a conversation with all the knowledge and tools and skills and resources and individual areas that all of us have been specializing in as individuals, right? Like there's power in the individuality and in everybody going in a different direction to understand deeply something specific. If we're able to come back together and bring all that into one cohesive unit so we can reverse engineer, otherwise we're just destroying, right? And I don't know, it seems to me that when we can have a conversation, these things should be simple enough to address. Like the UN, what it's proposing shouldn't be that intense to at least address and have a conversation around. But I don't know. We seem to fight against parts of ourselves. So actually that leads me into this. I want to talk about this real quick. I want to acknowledge and admire and honor the parts of ourselves that have, regardless if there's still some separation from where we're coming from in these areas, regardless of if things are done in fear, so maybe there's distortion in the systems, there are parts of us that have very powerfully learned how to organize and collect as one unit many, many individuals, right? Like the United Nations, Global Citizen, Council on Foreign Relations, even like intelligence agencies, right? So and this is, not to get too deep into this conversation, but to demonize any part of ourselves because we disagree with those intentions, right, is not going to, at the end of the day, allow for a conversation, right? Do we need to, in a holistic manner, integrate and release the parts of us that no longer serve? Absolutely. But if in one area we've learned how to build a system that can organize and collect so many people to act as one unit, there's things we can learn. There are things we can learn from that system. It's gained its power for reasons. There's not no reason why power is able to grow and expand and build. And at the end of the day, these energies we're working with, money, even universal energy, God, right? It's not a respecter of persons, as the Bible says. Like, it's not necessarily caring about your intentions as much as if you're following universal law. So the parts of us that have able to gain power up to this point are working in wisdom. They're working in knowledge. We're working in universal law, which is why we're able to even gain power in the first place. We won't harp on that. Thank you for your time. But yeah, thanks to those of us that are coming together. Anyway, that is all the background, the purpose. Why are we talking about all of this in the first place? Well, the real revolution is the evolution of consciousness. Not an original quote, not sure where it originally came from, but I love this quote. This is the real revolution, right? We think a revolution is coming, something's coming. Everybody feels something in the air. What is coming? It's not just a recession. There's some sort of, you got people saying we're not going back to the old normal, like, to new normal. We're establishing something new. Everybody feels such a transitionary state, right? So the living dream represents an evolutionary leap towards a state of collective consciousness that recognizes and honors the intrinsic interconnectedness of pretty much all existence. It's about transcending limitations of just purely individual consciousness and allowing us to merge into a unified field of awareness. It urges us to align our individual will with universal will. So to not act out of like a limited self-interest, but in service of the whole. And at its core, and this is, by the way, this is my new definition for love. It's the latent oneness vibrating everywhere. Like that's how love is translated in my mind now. I can find it everywhere, in every single atom and molecule around me. It's in everything. It's the latent oneness vibrating everywhere. So you can tap into that. So at its core, the living dream embodies the principle of love, a love that transcends boundaries, a love that heals, a love that unites, and a love that propels us towards the ultimate realization of our true nature, which is oneness with the all. It's a call to awaken to our fullest potential, to embrace our divine nature, and to co-create a world that reflects the beauty, the diversity, right, the individuality, and the interconnectedness of everything that exists. And something very powerful that I read that I wanted to share, and this came from, I believe, one of the Gene Keys, LJ. Maybe it was Silence. I'm not sure. But love is not just a feeling. It is a vibration and a frequency that is connected throughout all things, right? So latent one is vibrating everywhere. When we can connect emotionally through our hearts to love, right, we can begin to receive the information that frequency holds for us, because we understand that emotion is the carrier of information. Right? When we're going back and processing childhood traumas or something, you have to face and sit with the emotion, not necessarily mental thoughts. Information in the mind it just sits there. So, and also it's generating based on the emotional state we're in. So if we're just in anger, if we're in separation, if we're in fear, those are the thoughts that will be generated in our mind. Like, you can't even judge the thoughts, really. Like, it's just the programming, like the vibrational state, the frequency you're tuned into. So anyway, say all that to say, when we can really like consistently ground ourselves in love, we can receive the information that's more connected to the collective consciousness, right? Like, so on an egoic level, on an individual level, all these things I'm talking about, as I talk about them more and more, because I'm looking to reframe my mind to come from a collective space, to understand, to really reframe the self, like myself, to understand that my highest self is like the overarching collective self. So as I look to do that, number one, it generates more love. That understanding can only come from a place of love. Like when I fall back into fear, I watch myself shift back into separation. But when we can ground in that love and that oneness and that interconnectedness, the information that comes through is collective information. Like it's so vividly clear. It becomes vividly clear based on the people that start pulling into my life that we're all seeing the same vision. Like we are all part of the exact same picture. And the more we can like remember ourself and love ourself and express ourself, the more like we truly begin to see that like, oh, our self is collective. Like it all perfectly fits. Like it's like pieces of a puzzle all coming together that like form the big picture, right? But thank you all for bearing with me for the last 13 minutes. I understand that this is all still very ethereal, right? So I would like to quickly present the map. What are we doing tangibly to get to this ultimate end goal of a fully self-sustained community, right? That serves at a global level. What can we do today? So I would like to announce the Living Dream reality show. Hey. So what we're doing, and there's again, the team, I called you out earlier. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything that we're doing. We're talking to production company. We're moving forward with this. We're looking to produce it as independently as possible as we go forward. But the Living Dream reality show brings a world of conscious creation to life. It's set within a creator house. So we're going to get a house and move conscious entrepreneurs who are in this vibration of love, of oneness, of unity, and who are infected with the fire of the entrepreneurial spirit. And we're going to merge those two things together, bring diverse visionary entrepreneurs together into one home, cam it all up, and share a story. So these are individuals who, by our very nature, challenge the status quo and constantly push the boundaries of what is considered normal. Each episode will unfold as we dive deep into our individual stories, our dreams, our aspirations, all against a backdrop of actualizing our collective potential. So the Living Dream is designed, the show is designed, and actually the project itself is designed to educate and empower change makers. We're building an incubator for leaders who desire to serve and create on a holistic global level. It is a fully immersive experience, and together we will be moving forward every day, not only to create the most entertaining, most consumable, most shareable, dopest content that's ever existed, but also we'll be moving forward every day to collectively build our skills, our finances, our networks, and our connections. So in real time, we're going to be, it's almost like we're recording and documenting just our own biography. But at this point, it's like, it's not about a character or playing a character, like being our full self. Like we are all characters, like, right? Like we look at certain people and we're like, oh, damn, that person's a character. And it almost makes us uncomfortable. What does that really mean? That person is usually typically just in their own world, being their unique, crazy, random, weird self and not caring what anybody around them thinks about it. And we understand that's a character, right? But we all have that inside of us. We are all characters. Where am I going with that? I don't remember. Anyway. Oh, that's why. Because this is about really stepping into our true selves. So we want to showcase like, hey, what does it mean to actually live our authentic existence and be the character, like really lean into the characters that we already are. And the story, that's why I'm calling it a reality show. Like, the story is just what we're actually doing. Essentially, we're just on the journey of self-actualization together and sharing that as loudly as possible on every platform and every modality as possible, right? in the most entertaining, engaging way, so that this concept, this energy can reach to even the person who literally just wants to hop on Netflix and consume, like binge watch a new TV show, right? Like, how can we get this energy to absolutely everybody and have a ton of fun and monetize doing it? Anyway, the guiding question to all of this is, can we create something better together rather than outsourcing our creative powers to a select group of powers that be, right? The powers that be, we already talked about that. There is no they. Can we come together and take full responsibility for the health and direction of our species? How do we shift from an era of individual leaders, right? Individual leadership externalized outside of ourselves, and move into an era of collective self-leadership, right? What's going to even be required of us? These are the things we're going to have to figure out. Is like, what's even required of us to create on that level, right? To shift systems and have that much planetary, like, creative control for ourselves. I'll say it starts with the individual. Like, it really, like, it's like the Mother Teresa. If everybody were to sweep their own doorstep, the whole world would be clean. Like, if we already are a collective, and our highest self is the collective self, and it's also individually directly inside of us, then the best thing that I can do to show up for the collective self is really to sit with myself in love and show up as fully as possible as I can for myself, right? That's how I serve the collective. It's the paradox of life. Like, the best way to serve the collective is to serve yourself. And so a way to do that without feeling selfish and allowing yourself to fully lean into that, for me, has become the we. Like, I almost, I don't know if I talk about this later on, but like, we have pronouns now in the world, right? Where it's almost, we have creative control to play with our labels and identify more fine-tuned with ourselves in a new way, right? We always find new ways. Now we're pulling apart the mental realm. It's incredible, because now it's allowed me as an individual to sit with, what if our pronouns were we and us? Like, what if we fully leaned into the we and the us, right? And so, I mean, individually, I'm not saying all you guys got to do this, but individually, sometimes I sit with myself, and when I'm sitting with myself, it almost becomes like the royal we. Like, we sit with ourselves, and we try to visualize it in that way. It sounds insane, but the we and the us feels much safer. And maybe, hey, listen, maybe we got a room full of narcissists, no judgment, and y'all can dive deep as you want into yourself and fully focus on that. But when it becomes a collective, when it becomes a we, it allows us to always be considering everybody else while we go infinitely deep into ourselves. Because we have to understand too that our tree can only grow as tall as our roots go deep, right? Isn't that the saying? So we have to build a system. Now we're talking about just a linguistic system that allows us to go as deep as possible, so we can reach as high as possible. So anyway, there's that. We'll real quick go over a timeline so y'all are aware. So pre-production is going to be the next 4 to 6 months. So this is where we're finalizing the concept. We're scouting and securing locations to shoot. We're establishing partnerships, sponsorships. We'll be finalizing the casting for the show, all the pre-production meetings. And then we'll be doing production for the next 3 to 4 months after that, which is where we start filming, hold special episodes or challenges. We're going to be exploring outside of, obviously, a creator house as well. There are so many incredible people on this planet. So many of us who are already doing powerful things, have put together powerful systems, have models, have concepts. I know, Shaf, you're familiar with the Venus Project right here in Florida. I'm going to go check them out in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. But they've put together essentially a community model, a new city model and they dive into this concept of resource-based economy, that at this point, through our technologies and our natural resources available to us within ourselves and on our planet, we actually have the technology and the resources to create abundant systems for ourselves. But we're still filtering everything through money and politics, which at this point are potentially to be considered like almost governors on our creative engine, right? That almost, like, if we can find a way to either integrate those systems into our newer technologies, or which we're looking to do, right? We can see us doing that in society, but if we can integrate them in, great. But otherwise, we must move beyond them and like look to utilize what resources we have available first before we have to get into politics and money. How can we minimize the governors on ourselves so we can expand as quickly as possible and as powerfully as possible? So anyway, and they have whole city models, right? So bringing attention to these things, we can do that with the show. We can use it as like a marketing platform for projects that we support and that we resonate with. Okay. So post-production will be the following 3 to 4 months. I don't have to get into what post-production is. Oh, there's no cool photo here. It disappeared. Sorry. That's okay. Anyway, timeline. We'll do marketing for 2 to 3 months preceding the release of the show, marketing and promotion, and the official release. Ideally, we are shooting for, and obviously schedules are flexible to allow for whatever comes up, but we are shooting for an early Q1 2025 release of the actual show itself. Okay. And at the same time, I would like to really quickly address my favorite thing. I did say I was a music director of a church for a few years. Music, worship, the ability to sit with love, really to sit with love and express that in a musical way is such a powerful language. Like music, what we're looking for, all we're trying to create is harmonic systems that create a smooth symphony between all of our entire body on this planet, right? How can we create an integrated system? That's what a song is. A song is a mathematical formula that flows in a beautiful and sensually engaging way. So over this next year as well, I know LJ and I and Andrew, I'll tap you into this as well, because I know you like to make music, but we're going to bring as much as we can, as many powerful players within our group that want to come in and build an album, The Revolution. That'll be a storyline throughout the show for sure, because that also gives us another excuse to tour that album after the show's release. So in 2025, the goal is to have a tour, The Revolution. And all of this is, again, to generate energy, momentum, attention onto the actual physical community that the goal is to build. That's really the end goal. Not the end goal, but for me. And again, I just want to reiterate, there is no 99%. There is no 1%. We are everything. We are everything. No one's coming to save us. No one's coming to destroy us outside of ourselves. Like, anyway. So that was a lot. That's an overview. Thank you so much for bearing with me. And yeah, so our mission to provide, this is the clearest way I can put it so far. Like everything, like to me, encapsulates here, but I would love feedback on it eventually afterward as well. To provide a unified reality experience which awakens and empowers our collective consciousness to manifest the optimal timeline for humanity, right? Because our future, tomorrow is not, the story is yet to be written. Like we're writing that story today. So how can we write the best story possible? A win-win-win-win-win situation for everybody, right? It seems impossible. Absolutely is impossible unless we all come together to collectively create it together. That's the only way it's possible. All right. So immediately, what would I love from you guys? Why have we called all of us here? Why am I sharing this? How would I like for us to engage? You can scan this QR code now if you want. I mean, I'll also continue. It's in my social medias. This is like the link. It's the link tree. So everything as we begin to put it out next month, I hope to have next month we'll have a website and donation links and all that stuff and merch. Where I wasn't able to get that out quick enough, but that's okay. For now, go follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. On Instagram, we're at Building the Living Dream. And on YouTube, we'll be posting weekly videos from here on out after tonight. So go follow along, follow the story. I would love that. We would appreciate that. We're currently looking for, when it comes to the show, and now we're in pre-production. So we're looking for growth partners. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for investors, fundraisers, referrals, like anybody who resonates in your mind, who comes to mind of, oh, they might be interested in some way of being a part of this project, even if it's just following along on the journey. Bring everybody on board. We need all of us. Followers, energetic support. Like, if you just want to pray for the project, you just want to hold it in good energy in your mind, using our imagination is like one of the most powerful things we can do. And volunteers. So, when it comes to sponsors, right? So this journey's been interesting because, like, the amount of intention that has to go into everything now. Like who can say that like they have an incredibly specific intention, like very intentionally, why they wear like the underwear that they wear? Like, I mean, I know some people are probably that intentional, right? But like now when it comes to a show concept, every single thing becomes open to sponsorship or promotion on some level. So I'm sitting here considering like, what is the best cup to use? Like, why would a cup even be the best cup? Is it the material? Is it the brand and the energy that resonates with it? It's like, and every single level, every single thing, the house itself, the location, all of these things we're having to consider as we get sponsorships for the show, because I really want to present like our favorite and like most optimized. Again, I said we'll be going through every area of human life and looking to optimize them individually and collectively. So why am I saying all this? If I would love all the feedback possible, because ideally I can find the most incredible, super resonate with it piece, product, service, offering, utensil for every single part of like our life, right? And then we can just affiliate everything, because if we can't find exactly what we need, then that's when we start having to create and develop our own products, and which we can do as well, right? So, but we're going to go through every area of human life, and we're either going to create a product or service or system that serves us at the highest level, or we will bring in and connect with those who have already built it, which is most ideal. Do I have another slide? No, I don't. That is the slideshow. I'm going to stop sharing. And I thank you all so much for listening to all that. That went on for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. So ideally, these calls as we go forward, they're not going to be so much me sitting here preaching and talking. The conversation is the most important. I'll say one more thing while I'm still standing here talking is comedy, like the ability to laugh at heavy things as we move into, because we're addressing everything, right? In this project, whatever, this group project, we have to address every part of ourselves. And some part of ourselves are a little bit heavy, and comedy is a way to do that. But why I say that is because I'm noticing in comedy specifically, it's people want a dialogue, they want a conversation. Like crowd work has become like a more powerful thing than putting together a 2-hour show and standing up in front. So I want to bring that energy into like a more like community town hall, not to say church, but like almost church-like environment where like, how can we like stop making so many statements maybe and start opening up conversation and asking more questions, like asking the right questions to ourselves. And also amplify and share all of our individual talents and skills and thoughts and stories. And that's what these calls are totally meant for. It's meant to be a collective intention. So that's actually something we'll have to figure out as well. Like, how can we create a system or submission or something for people to keep the production tight while also, not that it's super tight right now, but keep the production tight while also allowing everybody to shine. So that's all I want to say. And I would like to open up to conversation.
Yo, that was perfectly presented, my guy. Thank you so much for using your powers to give us that gift, because it was amazing. But like, I just want to say that everything is all we know that this is supposed to be happening because everything is aligning so perfectly for it to happen without us even really trying that hard at all. Literally the opportunity to make a show about this was gifted to us out of nowhere. Okay, for those that don't know, I'm moving to Tampa with Andrew here in a little bit to put some boots on the ground for the Living Dream. and kind of like start the creator house and everything. And one day I told M Possible, she's in here, about what we were doing, and then she's like, Andrew, I literally just started crying because I've had a contract for a TV show with a production company for this exact idea for 2 years. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. So it all just like, I all of a sudden knew. I was like, oh my God, like I'm really supposed to be in Florida. It's not just because I want to hang out with Andrew all the time. Like it really is for a more divine calling than just being there. And I think that once we get there and we start making things happen, there's a lot of people that have been looking for us unconsciously that will consciously find us, and they'll be like, oh my God, I've needed this, And like the power of being in a physical space with a bunch of people is so much more powerful than this right here. Although I'm not discounting the power of the mastermind, even from a remote place. That's why do you think churches are so popular? Everyone can worship God in their own house, but they could also worship God in a house that's been intentionally named God's house. And so like people come together from all over just to do that. And so that's like part of what we're doing, like with this, to give ourselves that physical space that we can all come together to. So it's amazing.
If I may, guys, Andrew, fucking gorgeous as usual. I shouldn't have sworn, but hey. Similar to you, Mr. Bandrew. The ladies are calling you Pandrew now for some reason, apparently.
Oh boy.
I've had that same freaking bug up my ass. I've been hit with this specific exact dream for 15 years. Some of you guys knows this. And I told Andrew, dude, I'm your architect. I'm the tech. I've been studying exactly the logistics, the how to build a community, how to live basically with no bills, free water, free electricity, free food, free everything, how to set it all up. And just like you, Golden, I always knew like a part of this would have to be very public, some kind of show, some kind of talk, some kind of something. And between us, I hate that part. I don't want to like be on the spotlight. It's not my thing. I'm like, fuck off, leave me alone, But I
You're
know
beautiful,
myself
man.
also, if I fuck off, leave me alone, I'll just stay at home, not moving. That's why I need the fire. I need to be put in that ring, surrounded by the killers like you guys that are gonna kick my ass or get me moving, or even more so, you tend to only move for the people you care about. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't do it for you, but if you're doing for someone else, you'll move the whole world for them. So again, very synchronistically, this comes in right at the perfect timing. I might also be moving with the Andrews in Tampa. I look in January. It's looking at 98%. And again, it's a perfect synchronicity. It lines up right on time. It's right on time, always. So I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Feel free to put whatever weight you guys want on me. I can help out with a ton, including half of the stuff you just listed. And I'm all in, guys. I love you all. I'm excited. Come on.
We love you too, man.
I love all of you guys so much, and I'm just gonna second, third, fourth, whatever the chapter said, because the perfect timing. When I'm telling you this week, everything is aligning for us to be able to do just massive, donations. We are 501c3, so we'll be able to start launching what we're saying on a really impactful scale, and I can't wait to. Like I said, we've all been having pieces of this dream, and now it's time to make it the living dream. It's just time.
And
Wow.
I just want to say, nothing happened by coincidence.
Right.
Everything happens for a reason. And God, the universe, the creator, he puts us on this earth to honestly create and love and evolve and upgrade. And that's what we're doing right now. And it's honestly beautiful. Yeah, that's it, man.
I felt that.
So much. And you hold such a powerful piece too, as well, Rashad. We met at the summit a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And, you mind?
It was like last week.
It feels like yesterday and also months ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear you, bro.
Awesome. Cool. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? Any questions? Like something you want to release from your heart? Well, actually, we're on Facebook, so I suppose it's not like I can't account for all the Facebook people and if it's a safe space. But
LJ, you mentioned your 503c. I have a contribution that might help with the funding and everything. One of the things I've been studying, and the Draco would enjoy this possibly, or Mr. French, I'm sorry. One of the things I've been looking at is how to design basically very simplistic robots that would study the zillion grants out there. One of the superpowers in real estate and other things is grant writing. Some of you guys are familiar, right? So you got grants, loans, and subsidies. It is not at all difficult at all to put AI to work writing up grants. And the most common things that they will write for is 503, nonprofits, but there are also grants, loans, and subsidies and programs with every city, county, state, etc., for businesses, for launching businesses, SBAs, etc. So one of the starting places could be, and this would be a superpower that we would have that I promise you very few others have, if anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Grant writing GPT.
Oh,
Real.
absolutely. That'd be
What do you guys
great.
think?
No, I think that's great. And understanding that for nonprofits, there is a sector within real estate where we get, properties where we can restore them or we can get them for very, very discounted prices. So we just have to start leveraging the systems that have existed for a long time that have sustained the church, like these systems work. And so how can we look at all the systems that have sustained things throughout time? And that's why I studied the 501c3 systems, because there's a sector in there that we can really pull from.
Beautiful. Heck yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And this is nonprofits or businesses or anything else, right? There's
Exactly,
because
because it's a 501c3, so we have the initiative to be able to create any sort of initiative that you would want. We just started the Pay for Care Fund, which allows us to work with doctors where we'll be able to take the tax that they would normally pay for the government, and then we're creating funds to be able to help pay for care in the community. So we're creating micro insurances within doctors. So how can we now understand that we're building a micro system, but we're building a, it's the micro of the macro.
Oh my God, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. So you're saying that would be the umbrella, and you can create smaller entities underneath it. Some can be for profit, some not, some all
Exactly.
over, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because we're set up to do any sort of initiative because we're the Please Evolve Foundation. So we're ambiguous to allow there to sit and create initiatives, the Pay for Care Fund, the Water Please, Land Please, like, whatever we want to call it.
Seriously, guys, just so you know, only LJ could walk to a doctor just to fix something wrong with them and then walk out with a job.
With a job.
Nonprofit, a salaried position, and a bunch of new nonprofits set up to finance.
We have to.
Tell your story.
Yeah, we have to. No, I know Andrew wanted to say something. I wanted to hear from Andrew. French. Are you there?
The meeting, I'm like, hey Andrew, that was amazing. I was getting goosebumps during some of it. So the thing I would like to say is let's open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. Because I was raised in church just like you too, Andrew. I was raised in apostolic Pentecostalism. My dad's a preacher, an evangelist, and so I was raised in that, and I had my awakening in 2020. But that's something that I've always kind of felt in my heart as like growing up in church, was I had such a fire for the divine, such a fire in my heart for things that are of God, and I've always wanted to search the face of God, and that kind of led into my spiritual journey. But there's something I've always had in my heart was to usher in the golden age, to usher in the latter day rain that the Bible talks about. In the book of Joel, he talks about your sons and daughters will prophesy, your old men shall see visions and dream dreams, or something along those lines. And so the way that looks to me now is actually using my abilities, my talents, whatever that I have and whatever I can give, to help bring down heaven to earth, because we don't have to have hell on earth anymore. We have the technologies, we have all the bright ideas, and this is the age of Aquarius. It's time. It's freaking time. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm honored to be a part of all of this.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Andrew. And yeah, you're so right. It really is that critical of a transitionary time that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty is in the fact that the transition's happening, right? Like we're only having this conversation. This call is a reaction to something that already is very really going on in the collective, right? We've seen over maybe the last 50, 100 years, there are certain individuals, right? Individual elements that rise up to bring consciousness, bring awareness to the systems that we have here. And perhaps they've been shut out, they've been silenced, right? But I always liken it to the metamorphosis of a caterpillar to a butterfly. In that period, that dark time, that dark age, when it's in the cocoon, before, once it's done being a caterpillar, because we're in transition. We're not the old system. There's the highest parts of us are saying it. We're not going back to the old whatever the hell we thought we had before, right? There is a new normal. So it's literally caterpillar to butterfly. But in that cocoon period, this is what happens. Individual cells, butterfly cells, start to pop up within the system, within the body. And at first, the caterpillar cells kill them off one by one. Nope, not happening. Nope, I don't know what you are, but you're not me. Boom. But in time, they start to pop up quicker. Now 2 or 3 of them have connected. Now it takes a few hits to get rid of them. But in the meantime, a few more connected. And now they connected to the system as well, till eventually we reach a threshold. It doesn't take that much. I don't actually know what the percentage is, but you know what I'm saying? We can follow even 80-20 principle. Like it doesn't take more than 20% before a switch is flipped. And now all of a sudden it's becoming the butterfly. Like it's already there. We're doing it. We're becoming the butterfly. And so now these individual cells that at one point had all the power and were killing off the new butterfly cells are left with a choice to either, be gone and die off with the caterpillar, or transition and become a butterfly cell. That's literally within the body. They're given that choice. You can either transition and become a part of the butterfly, or we can, die off with the caterpillar. But this transition is happening regardless, right? And so I'm just grateful that we're all here in this time and place and get to be a part of this process. We're all dope AF if we decided to come here at this time and place in the timeline, for sure.
And you know what AF stands for? And fruitful. We dope and fruitful, bruh.
Dope and fruitful.
That's right.
Fruitful. Hell yeah, dude. Wow.
That's right.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much love. Kenny, it's so good to see you here, brother. Glad you can make it. How you been?
Been pretty good. I feel like myself, like in my journey, I'm in a cocoon as well, kind of like because I stopped in like the drinking and I just stopped smoking recently. So like I feel like I'm on my own like self-improvement kind of journey. I mean, I've lost a ton of weight, still losing, but I'm evolving as well. So I'm glad you invited me.
Bro, thank you. And that's what it's about. Like that's literally what it's about. Like we were saying it before. It's like how we can help the collective is to help yourself. Like a self-care comes first. Like the collective is just our highest self. We have to help ourselves today. Stop smoking. That's incredible. I'm impressed. That's beautiful of you. Fantastic. And that's literally the highest and most important thing we can do. Like sitting with ourselves. Where do I feel that the parts of me that that need to die? What parts of me represent the butterfly? What parts of me represent the caterpillar? And how can I begin to go in and dissect and figure out what's going to serve my next evolution versus what no longer brings me joy, right? That sort of thing. And awesome. Congrats, man. That's it. That's incredible. Appreciate you.
Good shit, guys. I gotta head out, but good to see you guys again. Good to see your face again, Andrew. A little salute. This is gonna be big for sure. I love it. And I know you guys are gonna be out in Florida, but if there's anything I can do like on my end to help it along, in any way, just hit me up.
You're gonna be our boots on the ground in Cali, bro.
Say what?
You're gonna be our boots on the ground in Cali, man.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, representing Jin out there for sure.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and I just put my number in the chat. So if any of you guys want to save it and like hit me up for whatever, you got it.
Awesome. Oh yeah, dope. I see that. Fantastic. Yeah, and you know what? I'll put my phone number as well. I'll drop that for those of us who are on the call. Facebook, I don't know. You can message me on Facebook. But if you want to be involved in any way, if you just want to talk, if you had thoughts, if you had questions that come to mind later, I'm open. I always have time for this project. This is the main focus. It's really like from the heart, and that's the only place that we want to be resonating at this point. Cool. Wow, thank you, everybody. M, I know you haven't been able to be on camera. Do you want to say anything? You want to say hi to the world? Maybe not. That's okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's 9:07, so we'll go ahead and wrap up a little bit early. LJ, would you like to close us out one more time, since you bring such incredibly pure energy to the
I
table?
love you guys. No, it's everyone here. I just feel like it feels like a day where we all plan to be here. You know, I don't know, it just feels that way. So it's an honor truly to just allow the light to come through, because I feel at the end of the day we're all just messengers. Do you want, I can put some pads on. Do you want me
Sure,
to
yeah, absolutely. Oh, let me give you the opportunity to share. Oh, and it's a new moon now today, I think, as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah. Wow. We're clearing. How do you feel? How do you feel?
So good.
Mm.
Open, really open,
Oh yeah.
open to
Yeah.
give and
Good,
receive.
good.
We're ready to start dreaming. I feel like the call that I keep feeling is, how can we activate ourselves more so that we can allow the vision to come through and us to start to embody that and start living it. Because I think when I met you, Andrew, there was such a progression to see to get to this moment in time. And but when I heard you say the living dream, I swear it activated something within me. And so I just want to be, express and share what I felt and the mutations that I felt when meeting you, because it opened me up to start to dream of things and the future that I feel like we're now all collectively co-creating. you know, that's just what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Let me share my screen.
It was
Can I share
definitely
the
a
audio?
mutual activation, LJ. LJ is one of those people, like most of us, actually. Like honestly, all of us here on this call, like first meeting, there's no latency period between like, oh, we have to, make this connection versus like, I'm pretty sure like we've lived many lives together. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like, I'm glad I found you again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I'm just gonna share this, but it's mostly just to see so you can hear my audio, hopefully. I haven't shared my screen while it's making.
Press share sound as well.
Yeah. So.
Who's that,
Wow.
Riley? Kenny? What's up, Riley? That used to be our cat, me and Amy, but then we gave the cats away when we got on the road to go in the RV.
Yeah. Okay. Are you able to hear if I play this pad here? We're gonna do the key of E. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Is that too loud?
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Nope. I can't hear it either, so. We're here. Huh. Never mind then. I guess I was trying to share my screen, but not share like where it says pads. But I don't know. We're gonna try that one more time and see if that was just shared. See, this is what the screen looks like. Is it playing?
You'll have to share your audio as well.
I clicked that. Share. Sorry, share audio. Let's try that one more time.
Hey, Steven.
What's up, baby?
Hi.
Amelia, the most popular person in the room right now.
In the room.
Always.
There it is.
There it is.
Yay. Is it too loud?
You can turn it down a slight bit. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
That's good?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. Alrighty, so I feel like I'm a sound engineer, so just having some good frequencies helps us clear the room and clear our space as well. So any wisdom or anything that, you know, we all have, I think that we're in the process of documenting these techniques so that we can all start to use these tools so that it's easier for us to start channeling. And whatever channeling means to you, I feel for me it's just understanding that we all can connect. And so I hope that in this moment in time, what we can do is know that we're connecting together. We're connecting together, and we're taking the time to allow ourselves to be the messengers. And so we're just going to take a deep breath in, put our palms open, and allow us to create what I feel like is a corner in each room, and then we're going to shoot up and kind of have like a pyramid of energy and allow us to create what I feel is this pyramid in our room where we're allowing our energy to move through, and we're allowing us to collect to the ground, and we're pulling energy from the ground, and we're allowing also the energy to pull up from the sky. So it's this both channel, and we're allowing ourselves to be like a string. And so as a string of energy, we now can send the energy that isn't serving our body, that is holding pain, and I want to send that all to the ground and allow all that light energy to come through what I say is our third eye, or what your crown chakra, whatever you feel connected to, if it's tingling, but just allowing yourselves to open up and feel that energy rush through. Thank you so much, God, for this moment in time, for these people, for allowing us to show us how powerful our energy is as we breathe you in, as we take this conscious time and energy to know that we are vessels of light, vessels of creativity, of freedom, of empowerment. And I pray that in this moment in time, you alter our genetic DNAs and you activate for us to heal faster so that we can show up in the world the way that we are intended to. And these brief moments, we're like batteries just charging in your love, in your gratefulness, in your gratitude, and knowing what that frequency does as it removes all of the shame, all of the doubt. When we have these conversations in the outside world, may we remove that. May this space anchor in as the new root that we can attune to, that we can come back to, and remember that we are stepping into this collective intention, this collective mission and vision of the living dream, and allowing that anointment, that discernment that is bowing down upon our DNAs and bringing and actualizing what we're here to do. I pray for every single person in this room, every single person in this live, everyone that we're connecting to on a day-to-day basis, that we can just, with our touch, with a look, be able to show them the empathy, the care of the living dream. And I pray in this moment, it just lingers on throughout our lifetimes, through every lifetime, and that we clear the collective karma and we allow the dharma to come in through our DNAs so that we know and we feel this anointment that is coming through in us right now, that we can always tap in and we remember that we're remembering who we are collectively so that we can step into that. Thank you so much, God, for this moment. I pray for everyone, and just take a big, deep breath in, fill in with light, and then release all that darkness, that shadow, anything that you feel. Hold it. Just release it. Like marbles, just roll down to the earth. Bring in the light. Thank you so much, you guys. I love you all.
Wow.
Yay.
LJ, we appreciate you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Incredible time. It was forever grateful that you all are even here and want to be with us and move forward. And I'll see you soon. See you on the internet. Peace. One
See
day,
you
I'm gonna
guys.
exit thing to say every time. Rashad, so great to have you, brother.
Man, nice to see everybody, man. Andrew, nice to see you, man. LJ,
Very
nice
nice.
praying.
Yes,
I
it's a
love y'all, man.
pleasure.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Love everybody. Grand slumber.
Grand slumber.
Get that slumber.
Right. That's right. Goodbye, Amelia.
Amelia's like, bye. Bye. We
Yeah.
love you. Ah,
Aw.
Yula. I miss you.
Wait, Aaron, wait.
Damn.
No, she's right here.
Say hi to grandma.